Alright, so on his turn, he actually did not charge my guys with his Iron Breakers. He just kind of stayed there. So on my turn, my two remaining Pegasus Knights and one of my characters charged his small 10-man unit of warriors. They fled, and they're the ones that are standing in just kind of a crowd right in front of that gate. So they're technically fleeing. And I decided just to go ahead and take the charge into the front of that unit of warriors that he had turned around. Pretty smart move on his part. I don't know what I was thinking about charging the one. I should have known he would have fled, but yeah, at this point, this game's been 8 turns. I wanted to get some fighting, so I went and charged the front of that unit. My Grail Relic charged through the door and charged the front of the Iron Breakers there. On the left-hand side, where that house is, that's where my siege weapon is hitting now. So next turn, that thing should be down, and then I can start bringing some pressure over there. And I've got another character in the bottom left-hand corner who can lend his weight wherever I might need a couple wounds. So still feeling fairly good about how that's going. I purposely put my BSB real close to the door. Again, he can't Anvil of Doom these guys with the damage spell because you just can't do it unless they're on large targets. So he's there to give a reroll to the Grail Relic. My general's there to give leadership where necessary. I don't really want those characters to get bogged down in combat. I just want them to be in a supporting role, or if I need to, maybe I can rush them in to support a combat. My damsel's got Crow's Feast, the spell, but there's not many opportunities to get it off, and it's kind of hard to get past all his dispel dice anyway. So, yeah, another look at combat here. So in this combat, his Thane is just tough, and so I get in a challenge with him with my character, and he just slaps my character around like he's nothing. And otherwise, I whiff all my attacks. I kill one warrior, and so he chases down the Royal Pegasus that the character was on, and doesn't catch my Pegasus Knights, but they're right at the edge of the board. And remember, that was my turn. So on his turn, he's going to charge him again and chase me off the board. So that's kind of a bummer. That's a misuse of Pegasus Knights in his rear. Yeah, so the Grail Relic goes up there. I've got a stubborn 8 with my BSB nearby, so I feel really confident about him sticking around for whatever. At the end of combat, my son informs me that his unit of Iron Breakers has something magical that makes him count as double unit strength, and something else that makes him cause fear. So, a little brat. So he put me on auto break with the Grail Relic. So I had 2 chances to do it, but I did not make my auto break roll. So they fled. And, yeah. So this is his turn. I'm chasing the Pegasus Knights off the back of the board. Another look at it. Look from my side of the table on his turn. You notice he didn't really come through the door. He's content just to stay right there because that means I can't get into his flank, and I can only really bring one unit at a time. And there's no unit I have on the table that's gonna do very much good against that unit. So there's another look at the board. Yeah. Okay, so he starts Anvil of Dooming my guy, so I lost a Questing Knight here. Took the character and thought I'd go ahead and charge this unit. I want to charge the Anvil of Doom, but I didn't want to I just wanted to assume I couldn't see them. They're slightly raised up, and I didn't want to be that guy saying that I could see them. They were raised up, and therefore in my line of sight. So I went ahead and charged this unit to see if I could maybe get lucky. I'll have 5 attacks between my guy and my Pegasus, and maybe between the 5 attacks get enough wounds to maybe get lucky, or maybe next turn get lucky, break them, and get a charge of that Anvil of Doom before that thing really starts hurting me. If you look on the left of it, the house is gone, so there's now a gap for a unit that'll fit 1 unit of knights, and my battering ram is now moved to that fence. So there's maybe a look from my side of the board. Grail Relic and the... oh, I'm sorry, I missed that whole thing. But my knights were in front of the Grail Relic. On his turn, if you remember, my Grail Relic fled on my turn, and he charged him, and it landed him about 5.5 inches from my knight. So on his turn, he charged my knights, and I just fled. I mean, there was no way I was going to win that. So they both rallied. Yeah, you can see I killed one guy. He didn't do anything back. He won combat. I have a BSB nearby, so I stick. Whoever's turn was next, you can see he's missing another guy. Same old story. I killed one. I lose, but I stick. My Grail Relic tries to charge the Ironbreakers again, and I had to take a fear test and failed it. So if you look at the Knights of the Realm on the upper right, they're right in the middle of that gap in the fence. I charged his Longbeards, and if you look through the gap in the door, you can see in the background the Longbeards chose to flee. And never expected it. I just assumed he would stand there and take it, but he didn't. So he fled with them and set me up for a countercharge with his not his Ironbreakers, with his hammers, which are the ones you see at the top there. So there's another look at the board. And again, he's got that Anvil of Doom, and my son's real smart about playing that. He doesn't go for Ancient Power very often at all. He likes to use it for one unit that needs that critical extra movement. So he's going to charge his hammers into my Knights of the Realm, and if he doesn't have the distance, he's just going to Anvil of Doom him in there. So you see he's missing another warrior. My guy keeps on picking them off one at a time, but he keeps on having an outnumber, so we tie, and he has musician. So every time I'm taking a break test, and we're just sitting there. If you look at the bottom of the screen, that's his warrior unit that chased my Pegasus Knights off the table. They've turned around, and they're coming back towards the action. So on his turn, he that warrior unit, he marched him up, and then he Anvil of Doomed him into the flank of that character. So another look from this side of the walls. Things are going downhill in a hurry here. Now, the character got killed. I issued a challenge to save me from all those attacks, but the same character that killed my other paladin that was on a Royal Pegasus slapped this one around like he was nothing as well. So beat him, chased him down. So he is very, very secure back there. He's got his double unit strength fear causing 2-up armor save Ironbreakers sitting in his doorway, and he is looking very, very, very good. I now finally have that fence out of the way. So if you look at, I have that big unit of Knights of the Realm, and then on the very far right I have a small unit of Knights Errant. So I declare a charge on my next turn on his unit of Hammers. Those guys are stubborn 9, so if I'm going to beat him, I've got to just kill a bunch of guys and hope that maybe in a turn or two I can kill them all, because it's not likely he's going to break anytime soon. A mistake I made, though, is if you look at the that unit at the far left, I have my fast cav. They won't be there anymore. He Anvil of Doom and killed them. But just up from them, that's the models I'm using for that siege weapon. Well, when I charge 2 units of knights in there, they get in the way with that siege weapon, so only one's able to get into combat, which is kind of funny. Kind of funny if you're a dwarf. So I finally get another charge in there with my Grail Relic, and this is the one where that's my Knights of the Realm, and behind them are my Knights Errant because there just simply wasn't any room because of my stupid battering ram. So my Grail Relic loses combat to a fear-causing enemy that outnumbers them. They break. And he pursued, and again, it was my turn that I charged, and so the next turn is his. He's going to be able to charge my knights. So on this side of the board, I kill a whopping 1 or 2 of them. He kills one of mine. We're locked in combat with a stubborn 9 enemy. I'm not going to break them anytime soon, and I'm not going to be able to get a flank as far as I can see it. So that's what it looked like after my Grail Relic fled through my knights. This side of the castle walls. So he charged my knights with his Ironbreakers. I fled because, again, I just didn't see me winning that. I saw that being an auto-break situation. I was hoping for a counter charge with my Questy Knights. I figured I might have some kind of chance there. And then he Anvil of Doom these guys and turned them to the side. At that, I just tipped my hat to my son and said, you know what? That's the game. I concede. My guys... we beat a tactical retreat and just get the heck out of there because there's no way. He is just trouncing me left and right. On my turn, I could charge into the front of him, but I'm going to lose combat and auto break. There's no good happening on this side of the board. So that was it. That was our first run with a castle siege, creating our own rules for it. It was a fun game. Hope you enjoyed it.